Good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about another method called emotion codes. And if you'd like to know more about it, you can go to the website www.healerslibrary.com. And when you go there, you will find a chart that shows all kinds of different emotions. I'll show you that chart right now. So let me just, okay. So this is the chart, and it's called the Emotion Codes chart. And you can see the website right over there. And the emotions relate to different meridians. So if you see row 1 is for heart or small intestine, and that is usually the color red. Row 2 is spleen or stomach, which is the color yellow when we're muscle testing. Row 3 is lung or colon, which is the color blue. And row 4 is liver or gallbladder, which is green. And row 5 is usually purple or lavender for kidneys and bladder. And row 6 is glands and sexual organs, which is also red. So they kind of separated it according to the meridians and the way we muscle test the different meridian colors. And then what we do is, with the muscle testing, I will just basically see, is it in column A, what the person is feeling, is it in column B? So either it'll test for column A or column B. So let's suppose it's in column A, then we'll say, is it in row 1, is it in row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, okay? But once we've identified which row it's in, let's say it's in row 2, and column 1, then we go and we muscle test. Is it anxiety? Is it despair? Is it nervousness? Is it worry? Is it disgust? Okay. And so once we identify the emotion, the next thing, let's suppose that it's anxiety. Okay, so we'll turn this around again. So let's say that you have anxiety, then we muscle test how much is it. Let's say it's a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 3 out of 10, okay? But what you would do is you take a simple fridge magnet. This is a fridge magnet. And you take the fridge magnet. So if you're working with me on the phone, I would need you to have this magnet with you at your end. Wherever you are, whether you're in Australia, India, wherever you live, you know, simple fridge magnet is fine. You take the fridge magnet and you run the magnet from either the beginning of the governing spine meridian, which is here, you run it up like this, or you can even do it from the third eye, you know, and you're really intending to unscramble the energy in the governing spine meridian to clear out that anxiety. So if it happens to be your own, you would do it about 3 times, and it's cleared. I mean, it's amazing. It works so fast. It's really interesting. It's a fascinating tool to use. Now, if it's ancestral, you may find that you have things in the memory of your DNA that are ancestral. So we can muscle test when it's ancestral, in which case it's a little deeper. And in that case, you would run the magnet not 3 times, but 10 times. And I usually say, do more than 10, maybe do like 12 times. So you just go like this with the magnet and you say, I'm clearing the anxiety. Now we can actually go further in the testing. We can test to see which ancestor, how many generations ago on your mother's side, on your father's side. If you want that, that's also possible. You know, we can muscle test it and see, oh, it was so-and-so person, it was 10 generations ago. And then I'll find there's a whole bunch of stuff that's from the same ancestor, and you're really clearing out what is stored in the DNA of not only you, but maybe your siblings as well, your parents as well. You know, you're clearing like generations worth of stuff through doing this work. It's really fascinating, you know. So let's say now you've cleared the anxiety, you go back to your chart. Okay, this thing shut up. Okay. You go back to your chart, and now you say, okay, what's the next emotion? So you're muscle testing column A, no, column B. Okay, column A, row 1, row 2, row 3. Okay, it's row 3. So is it confusion, defensiveness, grief, self-abuse, stubbornness? So let's say it's stubbornness, okay? So now you would take your magnet again. Stubbornness is 1 out of 2, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. So let's say you just take your magnet again and you swish it. You're swishing it again from either the beginning of the governing spine meridian or from the third eye. You're just swishing it. You're literally intending, the meridian ends at your tailbone, so you're intending that the magnet goes all the way to the end. Even though you're not, you're just kind of stopping at your neck, but you're intending that it's clearing out all the energy in that meridian. So that's kind of how it works. Now, another really fantastic thing that we do with emotion codes is we can clear out what we call Heartwall. Now, sometimes, you know, if you get hurt, you tend to want to protect your heart. And you'll say, oh, I'm never going to let anyone hurt me like that again. And in the process, your heart wall gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And this can also happen because it happened to your ancestors. So I have had patients whose heart walls were like 80 feet, you know, others that were 50 feet, some were like 20 feet, some are like 10 feet, 5 feet, whatever. And again, you do use the same method. You identify, you go back to your chart, you know, healerslibrary.com, and your chart is right there, and you go back and you see, okay, first, how big is the heart wall? Let's say it's 80 feet, okay? So now we've got to clear out those 80 feet. So what's the first emotion on the outside of the heart wall? And we keep coming in further and further. So it could be column A, it could be column B. If it's column B, what's the first one? Row 1, row 2, okay. So what is it in row 2? Is it failure, helplessness, hopelessness? Okay, let's say it's hopelessness. Now, I'm going to test, is it ancestral? It's ancestral, yes. Okay, it's personal, no. So ancestral means you take the magnet and you work it 10 times. So that's what the patient is going to be doing at the other end. They're going to be using the magnet. I'm muscle testing for them. Okay, so we've cleared this. And sometimes one particular emotion can clear out as much as 10 feet of the heart wall. And sometimes it's only 6 inches. So each one is different. Each one is personal. It's very, very personal, this clearing. But I highly recommend clearing your heart wall because you notice that you will feel different when you're interacting with other people, and it will make a shift for you in how you interact with your family, your colleagues, and other people too. And you're going to feel a lot of lightness in your system, a lot of lightness. You can also use this method just coming home at the end of the day. If you've had a really bad day or something, you know, just go in. Even if you don't know how to muscle test, you know what you're feeling. Look at the chart if you need to identify what you're feeling and just clear it out. And if you find that doing it 3 times doesn't work, it's probably ancestral, so just do it 10 times. And then see, is that cleared? Now look at the chart again. And then go to the next emotion and say, what else am I feeling? You know, and it doesn't have to be in the order, in any particular order. You could just say, oh, this is whatever pops up. You know, whatever pops up for you is probably what you're meant to clear in that moment. So we're always being guided. We have inner guidance, you know, and so use your inner guidance. Use whatever you need. You'll find your intuition will help you as well. So this is a really fantastic tool, and if anybody would like to use this tool to clear their heart wall, or just if you're having a day when things are getting to you and you would like to clear that out, do give me a shout out. Write to me at my email address in the description box below, and we can schedule a session. We usually schedule for about an hour, and I will send you a personal history form to fill out, personal history information form. And we go from there. Okay, so really, really beautiful tool. If you know muscle testing, or you use the pendulum, or you use any other method, or you're very good with using your intuition, then by all means, just try it out yourself. Go to healerslibrary.com. There's a lot of videos on YouTube also, I think, that show how to use emotion codes. It's a really powerful technique. I encourage you to consider using it, and if you need to work with a professional, then feel free to give me a call, or choose someone else who lives in your area and go and work with them face to face. Whatever works for you, whatever works for you is fine. I just wanted to introduce this modality. It is a super powerful modality, very, very good, and all you need is a magnet. No tapping involved, like the EFT, or no tat pose where you're holding yourself. And so there's many different ways of clearing and healing our emotional body, our mental body. And it's a good idea to just take note of what's going on, and rather than just ignoring it and watching TV instead, face it head on, face it with courage, and clear it out. Okay, so I'll show you the chart one last time, and I will wish everyone a very happy day. And please do share, like, and subscribe this video. It is a really excellent tool, and I can't praise it enough. So enjoy.